They charged me with resisting arrest.
Get that confidence in jail.
I object.
Good morning, fellow patriots, and welcome to another episode of Allegedly Bravo, the podcast about reality show, Bravo, crime. At this point, I think we're just talking shit. I'm Lauren, and generally Cash would be here with me today, but she's suffering from COVID and also FOMO. So it's going to be just me today. So what had happened was Cash and I intended to do this show together, obviously. And then the flood happened. If anyone who listened last week knows that Cash's entire apartment flooded, and her family of boyfriend and dogs had to evacuate so they could tear out all the walls and whatever. So then they got COVID, and now they're isolated in a small, tiny loft. So for the sake of their relationship, Cash is going to skip the pod this week. So then I recorded something with my dad because I was like, well, if Cash can't do it, maybe my dad can do it. So my dad and I sat down for a little over an hour this morning and just talked all things housewives. You know, he's pretty well versed because we've just forced this show upon him for the last however many years. So he is really well versed in the Bravo sphere, at least in Beverly Hills and Orange County. So we did get a little perspective from him. However, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if that's clear to you guys, but I don't know what I'm doing. So when we sat down and recorded the whole, hour podcast, me and my dad, Cash actually called in and she zoomed with us and she goes, I can't hear you. And I was like, okay, well, turn up your earphones then. It's obviously you. Come to find out that my father and I recorded the entire episode without the microphone. So, it literally sounds like him and I are standing under a pile of papers, having a conversation about somebody. So the parts that I could save, you'll hear at the end. But it was really fun if anybody cares. But since I'm alone for now, so I've been going down this Real Housewives of New Jersey tunnel, and I started at season 1. I've seen some episodes here and there, as a Bravo viewer and a Bravo stan since day one. Of course I knew about New Jersey. Of course I knew that there's a woman named Teresa, and of course I knew that it was the first most giant crime of all time. I mean, back-to-back prison sentences. The poor Joe, from what I understand, had to move to Italy. It's just painful stuff happening over there in New Jersey, but I've stayed away from it. I just had a lot on my plate, and I never felt a connection to Jersey. Well, boy, oh boy, did that change. Because I'm sitting here, and everyone's talking about this show, and I'm starting to have FOMO, like what Cash is suffering from. Maybe I gave it to her. But I started to have a little bit of FOMO that I hadn't watched Jersey, and I don't know, and I'm not in on the jokes. And I feel like if I'm going to watch All Stars, it's how do I not know Teresa and the other one, Melissa? How do I not know who they are and listen to a show and then have a podcast and comment and hold myself out to be some sort of expert? I mean, it's just blasphemous. So I started watching it from season 1. And I do have a lot of opinions. I have a lot of opinions. Just in general, I have a lot of opinions. But on this show in particular, oh boy. I'm also not sure if my opinions are lined up with everybody else's. So, I'm obviously watching the show as, a 30-year-old empowered feminist woman living in the year 2021. I've just survived a pandemic. We just survived 2020. I mean, need I say more? And, I'm not the girl that was watching this in the beginning, 10 years ago in 2010. 2010, Lauren was a freshman in college. She could fit into things at Brandy Melville. That was very short-lived, but I'll have you know, I did fit into something at Brandy Melville once. Might have been a scrunchie. It doesn't matter. It still fucking fit, okay? So anyway, I'm a different girl. I don't know if I share the opinions of everybody else. For example, I guess I'll just go down the list of these women, these icons. Obviously, we have Teresa Giudice. So here's where I get a little confused because I've heard it a few ways. I've heard Giudice, Giudice, and I guess that's just it. So I like Giudice, Giudice. I prefer to say Giudice because I feel very Italian when I say it. I guess correct me, but I'm going to go with Teresa Giudice. I might say Giudice. Either way, Teresa Giudice. I'm obsessed with her. That woman is something else. First of all, she's so genuinely simple-minded that it's like a blessing to watch. It's like watching the world like through the eyes of babes. Is that the saying? It's like this woman is just so naive and it's wonderful to watch. She's so one of a kind. She's got this innocence about her that's like, well, of course money grows on trees, and of course like I get diamonds, and yeah, this is my dream house. I can make it look however I want. It's like, and then I look at her dream house and I'm like, this is a nightmare. This is an aesthetic nightmare. I mean, just the outside alone of this dream house, it's like, Teresa Giudice, you mean to tell me that your husband looked at you and said, baby, build your dream house. Build your dream house, whatever you want. And she said, I want 7 windows on one side and I want 2 windows on the other side. And I want window peaks that don't make any sense. And I want a water fountain. And Juicy Joe was like, okay, baby, yeah, you could have that. Oh, yeah, baby, come here, let me have sex with you. Oh, you're post-op? I'm still going to have sex with you. Those two are bumping uglies, okay? Those two can't keep their hands off each other. It's another kind of cute thing to see, like Teresa and Joe just kind of being like stupid rich teenagers. It is a little dark though, like watching the show with the knowledge that they're going to spend concurrent times or not concurrent, back-to-back time in prison. Like, yikes. I do, however, have to say, like, after seeing and meeting Teresa Giudice, I can see her going into prison and just being like the it girl. I can see her walking the hallways and being like, hey, oh, hi. Coming up with nicknames for people like, oh, you want me to braid your hair? I could do that. Yeah, I could paint your nails. Oh, you want me to scratch your back? Okay, yeah, I could do that. Like, I just can picture her just being like, oh, you know what? We should do a yoga class. Wouldn't that be fun? I love doing that. And I can picture prison just being like, this is the best thing that's happened to us. I don't think it was the best thing that's happened to Teresa, but I think that if any one of these women can take such a terrible situation and make it seem fun, it's Teresa. I'd want to be locked up with her. I wouldn't want to be locked up with Danielle. But before I get to her, I want to get to Jacqueline Lorietta, whatever her name is. I'm just going to call her Jackie. Jackie is Bridget Marquardt from Hugh Hefner World, whatever that show is called, Girls Next Door. They are the same person. Jacqueline is always just like giggly and she's laughy, and someone will be like, oh, I heard Jocelyn's husband Jack is sleeping with Shelly's cousin's sister or whatever, and Jacqueline will be like, oh my god, can I have some more wine? Oh my god, I can't believe you just said that. Did you hear what she just said about you? She just said you were a fucking whore. And then people are like, Jacqueline, what? I feel like Jacqueline is like, she can just like take just such negative situations and like giggle her way through them, and it's such a unique quality I've not seen in a person really ever. I mean, even when she's like actively shading someone, she's just like giggling and she's like, oh my god, this is so weird. Like, I remember the most recent episode I watched, Ashley, god, listen, I'm on season 2, okay? This Ashley girl, oh boy, I just kind of hope she watches back and sees how she treated her mom and her family, and kind of just like has a moment to sit with herself and be like, oh wow, Ashley, this was not good behavior. But Jacqueline, such a saint, when she went to go hang out with Ashley's older boyfriend, 24-year-old boyfriend's mom, and they had never met before, allegedly, I think they've been best friends. When the old boyfriend's mother looked at Jacqueline and told Jacqueline that Ashley has initiated cleaning the house, I was like, I'm about to pass out. I can't even imagine how Jackie feels, because I'd be like, are you fucking kidding me? This dumb bitch is like literally won't go to school when she's at my house. And she's initiating the cleaning of yours? Also, that's weird. If somebody came over to my house and was like, I think I'm going to clean it, I would be like, I think we should actually all leave and go hang out somewhere else, because either you're implying that my house is dirty or you're nosy. And I'm fine with you being nosy, but let's go be nosy at other people. I don't want you in my stuff. Anyway, Jacqueline, God love her. She's just a dope is what I think. But I like her, but she's a dope. Okay. Now I need to talk a little bit about Dina Manzo. Dina Manzo is the quintessential Italian daughter in my eyes. Like, when I think like spoiled Italian princess, I think of Dina, like just blonde and big blue eyes and really soft spoken, but very direct and very calm. And she has that like Italian princess little accent, sort of, where it's like very calm, and the way she finishes her words is interesting. I like her. And then her relationship with Caroline. So it took me a while to understand Dina and Caroline are sisters and their husbands are brothers. So that's an interesting combination, sisters marrying brothers. Now, the issue that I have with the Manzo sisters, Dina and Caroline, is I have a weird issue with Caroline. Like, is it just me, or is she like so extra? She is so extra to me. It's like we're all sitting there and I'm not even there, but I'm there. So it's like we could all be sitting there and Caroline will just be like, what did you say to me? No. What did you say to me? What did you say? And it's like she's going to start crying, and it's like, Caroline, I asked you to pass the fucking ranch dressing, okay? Chill. And then she'll like go, it's just everything with Caroline is like, this is my kids. This is my family. This is my number one. You're going to fuck with them? You're going to fuck with me. You're going to fuck with them? And it's like, okay, listen, I live on the West Coast, so I'm not sure if it's just like a thing that I'll never understand or what, but like, do people fuck with her kids a lot? Like, do people fuck with each other's families a lot? Like, it's just so weird. That level of like anger, like outwards towards other people, that who cares? Like, I don't know. It's just weird. Like and then the thing with the kids throwing the ham, I'm going to tell you something. That looked fun. And I think that Caroline loves the ham game. I think she secretly loves the ham game. But she just gets so in the weeds with Danielle too. Like, it's weird because between Caroline and Danielle in season 1, I'm team Danielle. I think that, Danielle had a bit of a past and she's annoying as hell, and I would not want to be her friend because she's extra and crazy. But at the same time, I think that Caroline didn't just hear people talking about the book in town. Obviously, Caroline did some digging. I mean, she's obviously going to dig because she's probably like, we got to get rid of that Danielle. It's got to be about the family. Because I think they're all related. Dina, Caroline, Jacqueline, and Teresa. And then Danielle's just like the outsider. Now, I will say, Danielle's 2 daughters are almost my third favorite part of the show. Because I love just the narration that comes with that oldest daughter, who I can't remember what the oldest daughter's name is, but she got like the cover of some big magazine, and gosh, it was like so exciting. It was like watching the Gigi and Bella, but like almost more fun because it was like this little girl just like really totally stumbled into this. It was like she just was walking and one day she was discovered. I think she puts a lot of pressure on herself, and I hope she's doing well now. But she's always like telling Danielle like how to be an adult, and I kind of appreciate that. I feel bad for her that that's her role in the family. And then the other little sister, I just want to hug her. The sister of the model. I don't know, the little one. I don't know her name, but she's adorable. But yeah, I don't like the way that Caroline, I want to say it's overreaction. It's so weird. It's so weird. And then when she's sitting on the couch and it was the reunion, season 1 reunion, and Caroline just starts like weeping and being hysterical over some rumor that I still don't know what it is. What did Danielle say she was going to do to Dina that made Caroline utter the iconic phrase, "Let me tell you something about my family"? It's like, what? Say it. And then she never says it. She's like, "My family, we're thick as thieves." And it's like, okay, are you special? No. But what did Danielle do? Like, are all families thick as thieves? I don't know. It just gives me like, it's like Caroline has like possession over being a close-knit family or something. And it's all about the family and not, the brownstone is my home. It's my second home. I'm essentially inviting you into my home. When Danielle wanted to go to that charity event, which by the way, I'm going to say this. We're in season 2 now. I'm jumping ahead. Danielle showing up to that charity event for the sick baby held at the brownstone. She just like told them that she was going to bring one person, which was Albie's best friend's mom. I mean, that was weird. And then she ends up bringing like half the Hells Angels and that guy who wore a t-shirt who had just gotten out of prison. And he's like, "I got 6 more days till I can drink, eh?" It's like, okay, why? Because I'm on parole. It's like, so you're on parole and then you're going to go to this gun show? I don't know. Maybe the rules are different in New Jersey, but I feel like if you can't drink because you're on parole, I feel like, could you also not be around firearms? But then, I don't know, maybe can he just not drink, but he can be around firearms? Either way, the scene he caused, he's like getting himself all worked up, and then he's like, we're going to leave. And it's like, Danielle, you are so extra bringing these Hell's Angels into this little shindig for this child, and then being like, this is why I have to leave. They didn't even bring us a spot. They didn't even save us a spot. It's like, yeah, they didn't save your 9 members of this motorcycle shindig a spot because I think they only thought the best friend of Albie's mom was coming. But, I don't know the logistics. All I know is, wow, Danielle, that was kind of weird. I guess at the end of the day, if I were to rate them in order from my most favorite to my least favorite, and I mean this in terms of entertainment value and not so much in terms of personality, these are the people that I find the most entertaining in particular order. Teresa Giudice is the most entertaining person on this program. I mean, she gave birth in leopard print pajamas. Okay, enough said. After her, I enjoy watching Jackie. I do enjoy watching Jackie. I think she brings like another light-hearted spirit to the show that's just so giggly and weird. And I kind of like it. And then tied for third place, it's a 3-way tie between Dina, Caroline, and Danielle. Because I just... The interchange of communication between them, it makes me feel like someone's going to get hurt. Seriously hurt. So I also thought it was sweet when Teresa asked Dina to be that baby's godmother. And I'm curious about that relationship now. Anyway, those are just my quick thoughts on the Real Housewives of New Jersey. I'm going to see what I can salvage from my conversation with my dad. Hopefully something of entertainment. And if not, I guess I'll see you guys like, I'll never see you probably, but you'll hear from us next week. Cash will be back and fully recovered from her coronavirus, and hopefully her flood. So I guess I'll see you guys next week. Bye.